Hey, did you guys catch all that? Because you're about to see that and a whole lot more. I've tracked this trail many times. It isn't my destination. Not this time. I'm heading deeper, further into the forest. These trails, they've been calling my name. 20 miles of dirt, 3,200 feet of elevation gain, just to reach the trailhead. But there's no race to the top, no schedule to keep, no crowds to weave through. Just me, Mother Nature, the land, and my Jeep. Moving together in quiet rhythm. That balance, that harmony between all four, it's everything out here. But it's delicate, fragile. One wrong move, one careless choice, or an upset Mother Nature, and that broken harmony becomes the storyline. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hey, I just got to the top of Four Peaks. Now, some people would argue you cannot go to the top of Four Peaks in a Jeep, but I went up to the top that's on the trail and went over the saddle, head down the Edward Park Trail. If you remember, that's the trail that I got stuck on in the mud a couple years back. Oh, memories. But today I'm gonna go check out the Big Pine Flat Trail and also the Jolene Mine Trail. So come along, let's go check it out. Well, we just started the trail and there's already a little bit of a little obstacle here. Let's go check it out. Well, this doesn't look like anything too crazy, but always good to get out and take a look, see what you're up against here. Just went down this obstacle. Let me get you a little closer look. If you've got a little bit of a lift, you'll have no problem coming down that. In fact, the stock Rubicon probably shouldn't have any issue either. You could always come down this way, which is the easier line. Here we are, Big Pine Flat. We got to the end. Let's go check this out. Somebody left their shoes here. Boy, I don't know if you should pick those up, throw them in the trash, or leave them here in case they're somebody's that was here. They don't look that old either. I think I'm gonna leave them. I'll tell you what, there's some storms happening today, not too far away from here. It was raining just a little bit ago. Sprinkles, nothing much. But the wind has been noisy in the microphones. But this little spot here, Big Pine Flat, it's down in this little secluded area. It's surrounded by the pine trees. You got some rock cliffs over here. You got these big boulders. This is at the end of the trail. This would make a pretty good camping spot. And you could tell by this big fire ring over here that it is definitely used for that. This trail's just shy of 2 miles, but in order to get to the trail, it's about 18 miles off of 87, Highway 87, up Four Peaks Road, and then you've got to go another couple miles down Edwards Park. Maybe not a couple miles, maybe a mile or two, probably 2 miles down Edwards Park to get to the turnoff to 422A, which is this trail, which is only about 2 miles. So in order to get to this camp spot, you got a little work ahead of you, but I think it's worth it. I stopped here. I came down this obstacle earlier. Now I got to go back up it. Didn't look too bad when I came down. I didn't really notice it, but You do have got a little rock ledge to climb up here. It's not too bad. You could take this line over here. You could take this line over here. I'll probably go right up the middle. I don't know. Let's go try. All right, I had to do a little bit of an out and back to get to that Big Pine Flat campsite. And now I'm back to the intersection of 422A where it meets up with 463. So 463, the trail is called Jolene because it goes out to the Jolene, the old mine out there. Now, I haven't been on this trail before, but I hear it's supposed to be a little bit more aggressive than the Big Pine Flat trail that we were just on. So let's go check it out. Well, we didn't get too far before the first obstacle. So this down around this curve, let's give it a shot. The sky's starting to look a little dark over there though. Well, this little sprinkle storm turned into a thunderstorm, which has now turned into a hailstorm, which is just fantastic. Oh, well, I think we are through the worst of the storm. I was just looking at the radar, and the worst part is past us, which is good. Now I'm just navigating through this trail with the mud and the melting sleet, or hail. I guess you could call it hail. Those things are pretty big. You can see there are definitely some pretty good sized boulders in the middle of this trail. I'm just taking it nice and slow and easy through here. You definitely need the ability to flex on this trail. Well, I was saying you need the ability to flex, but now I've come to a spot here where I got to get out and check this out because there's a big boulder and a fallen tree that's been cut. We got to check this out. So a tree that's been cut, and this guy right here is huge. Man, it is cold out here. Little rock garden all the way down here. I think I can come right over that thing and still miss that tree. Yeah, definitely need some flexibility there. I mean, I'm trying to straddle this. These things are, it's got to be about 3 feet deep, these ruts. I'm just glad that storm is gone. That was a little freaky with all the hail. Yeah, no thanks. I'm actually looking at my tire tracks here to see if there's any spots where my tires came off the ground. I don't see any. Had to have been close. Well, I just rolled up to this. I gotta check this out. Oh, crazy view there. So I'm on my way back up. So this trail went down and down and down, and now we're climbing back out. Check out this obstacle here. It's nice and wet with this gritty sand. I think I'm going to go right up here, passenger tire here, driver's here. Definitely got some scrape marks on that. And I think I dented my tailpipe a little bit. You got jagged rocks, you got boulders, you've got moguls, you've got ditches, a little bit of everything. So this trail routinely hits 25 on the roll, up to 30, could even be higher depending on how you take some of those moguls, but 25 is definitely a regular event here. What else does this thing have in store for me? Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. Trail 463, Jolene, coming to an end. I just made it to 422. Oh, look at that sky. That looks amazing. Wow, what a day out on the trail. You know, I've been wanting to do Jolene here, 463, and Little Pine Flat for quite a while. Actually, since I did the Edwards Park Trail, because I saw this trail go off, and you always wonder what's down that road. I'm glad I didn't go down that way, because when I ran Edwards Park, my Jeep was stock. I didn't have a lift, bigger tires or anything. And that trail right there, 463, you better have bigger tires and you better have at least a 3.5-inch lift to get through that. The northern end of 463 is super rough. I mean, you just saw what I came through there. Boulders, crevices, rocks, ledges, all kinds of stuff to challenge you. So it was fun. I had a really good time out here, and it did push me to my limit for sure. And you even get some great scenery. I mean, check that out. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.